Welcome back. We're at the grill shop right here at Percy Guidry's, and we're standing here with Jake Delhomme. He's going to be doing his baby back ribs, his famous baby back ribs on an AOG, which is like the little brother to Fire Magic. He has a Fire Magic, but we're going to cook it on an AOG grill. So Jake, we got this baby back rib rack. It's beautiful. It's got a nice little fat. Tell me how you go about preparing the meat.
Well, I kind of, it depends on who's at the house, or
Right.
do we have kids over, or is it more adults? And
Don't go too spicy. At the
exactly.
kids.
And this is something we do in North Carolina a great deal. You know, we always have the kids over with the families, and we'd introduce them to our Louisiana way and our hospitality.
Right.
And that became very popular. So, you know, this one I'm going to season as if we just have. We have families,
Yeah.
so we're
family.
We're family, so this is how we're gonna do it. And I will use different seasonings that I've tried. Certainly, living up in the Carolinas, everybody had their own rub, but today we're gonna use the butt rub.
Butt rub, Bad Byron's.
Bad Byron's, and I think the quote says it all, and I think you know it by heart.
Yeah, I think we can say it. It's a G-rate. A little butt rub makes everything better.
I don't think there's any doubt.
No.
It does. It does. All right.
So I see we got some mustard
So
up
we got
here.
mustard. So I'm gonna season one side. I'm gonna put my mustard. I'm gonna tenderize it with the mustard.
All right.
We're gonna flip it over. I will.
that?
I'll do the other
Just
side.
put like a little layer.
I like a lot of mustard.
like a lot of mustard.
That's perfect, right? I say a
Okay.
lot that might, but and then we're gonna season it. And
Now when you're doing ribs, you got a bone in there, and then you got a little bit of meat between each rib. Do you normally take that into consideration compared to, say, like if you were doing a brisket where you might put a lot of rub, whereas on a rack you just might put a little bit of rub just for flavor?
I don't do a great deal. You know, I don't want
see that.
to overpower it because it's a baby back rib.
Right, there's not a lot of meat.
It's gonna So and then I'm gonna rub it on in. I like to rub it on in, really tenderize it.
Man, you're my kind of man. Look at that.
Usually, you know, when I play football, I constantly lick my hands in between plays and all the time.
I noticed that.
Yeah, but I try not to do it when I'm grilling or seasoning. So that's
Especially with chicken.
No, exactly. So I try not to do it.
Where's Jake? He's in the bathroom, man.
Yeah.
He's not feeling too good. So we're putting more mustard.
Right.
All right.
And then
A little bit more butt rub.
a little more butter up. And I've kind of found if I've accidentally put a little too much mustard, I haven't found it's caused a problem whatsoever.
You know, we had a cooking class with this guy by the name of Chris Marks. He's a champion. He's 8-time grand champion of the Kansas City Invitational, and it blew my mind. That's the first time I've seen somebody. He does it on his Boston butt. He puts mustard on his brisket, and he does it on his ribs. And he says something about the mustard and the vinegar, how it creates like a caramelization, but you don't taste it. You don't really taste mustard when you're eating it.
No, and
but it
it's,
definitely adds to the flavor.
There's no doubt. And one thing I like to do, and I think it was probably due to a mistake that I made. I like to double wrap my ribs.
Wrap it up tight once.
Type once.
And I'm gonna grab this and lift it up so you can put another one down.
Right.
I'm gonna put it back on top.
I like to double wrap because I had an accident one time. I think it was my fault.
Through.
Yeah, poke through
Dry
and
out.
wasn't paying attention, and you know.
Yeah, you don't want it to dry out.
Right.
And if you have a little bitty pin prick,
Yes.
it's gonna dry out.
Exactly. So I like to double wrap it.
Okay. So we do this. The grill's been lit. We got it at about 300 degrees, which is a good baking temperature.
Correct.
It's kind of like, I tell people, your grill is like your oven. You can either slow cook, which is like 225 to 250. You can bake or barbecue, which is barbecuing, and that's like 300 to 350. And then you can grill or broil in your house. So you get variations in temperature. We got the outside burners lit on low. Mm-hmm. We're gonna probably put that on the bottom.
I like to put it kind of right in the middle.
Right. Now
And
we're gonna close this. And how long we're gonna let this?
I'm gonna let it go for 45 minutes, and then I'm gonna open it up. And I want to take a look at it. I want to see how much the meat is pulled away from the bone.
Right, you were looking for like about what?
I like to look about a half, it depends, half inch, and I'll kind of regulate my temperature after that. See what it is, regulate it, and then I'll probably put a basting sauce once I open it up after 45 minutes.
Start putting some sauce on it.
Start putting some sauce on it, and then I'll kind of go from there, and I'll probably end up going to about an hour and 15 minutes. It all depends.
Right. Now we got that, and we're going to do that in the next segment. But we also got some asparagus and some button mushrooms, and we're also going to be putting that on the grill. So we're going to have a little bit of healthy and a little bit of maybe not so healthy, but that's okay. You know,
Well, that's all right. I mean, you have to mix, the good, the good with the good for you. How about that?
The bon and pas bon.
There you go.
Well, okay. Well, let's cut this segment. We're gonna stay tuned. We're gonna check on the ribs next, and we're gonna be putting the vegetables on the grill. And I think you're gonna enjoy. I've been enjoying talking to Jake, and I can't wait to ask him a few more questions. So stay tuned.